Grand Rising and good day. It's Shay Seeking, and this is not your mama's Bible study. And we know that history lied. So we're here to use the two, okay? And come up with some explanations about things that have been occurring in this realm amongst the mainly the Aboriginal people that have been reclassified as several different misnomers over time, and then everyone else. Okay, so again, we're here to, I'm not here to tell you what it is, what it ain't. I'm just here to share with you what it looks like to me. And sharing is caring. So we're just sharing and passing on information that just because I can't get to it right now doesn't mean that it is not some type of detrimental, or it could be something that may assist in the awakening of other soul siblings. So again, I usually do these real quick and then share the title and stuff with you guys. So anyone that wants to go ahead and take the book and run, you can do that. All I ask you to do is go ahead and give a thumbs up so that we know how many have been here. And then yeah, so that's all I'm asking is for you to give a thumbs up so that I know, that someone is at least using the information. Um, and so on that note, we're going to go ahead and start to read. I kind of had this part already done, but something happened to it, so I have to redo it. So we're just going to go ahead and look into this Google document or book. And it's called The Studies in History, Economics, and Public Law. Edited by the Faculty of Political Science of Columbia University. And this is volume, I don't know because of the C. And it is number 3. And then it says The Free Negro in Maryland, 1634 to 1860. So I'm just thinking in 1619, if slavery was a thing, how was it that there were free Negroes at all? And if there were, since they were just enslaving everyone that was so-called black, it yeah. So I'm just thinking 1634, that would be pretty close to the time when the so-called first slaves were brought over here on the ship, the 20 and odd slaves. So anyhow, James M. Wright, and it says Columbia University Selling Agents, 1921 is when the copyright is, and the table of contents is Introduction, Colonial Period, the growth of the free Negro population, the legal status of the free Negroes, the apprenticeship of Negro children, the occupations and wages of free Negroes, property acquisitions and holdings, is chapter 6, education amongst the Negroes, the church and the Negroes, and social conditions. Attempts to check the growth of free Negro populations in the conclusion. So if anyone is into researching, this might be your cup of tea. I know that I can't wait to go into the colonial period, the growth, the legal the whole damn thing. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by. And again, for those of you that just want to take the book and run, go ahead. The next portion to this, which is basically, I think I'm just going to add it to this here video since it's not so long. I'm going to go ahead and add me reading the preface. And sometimes I say preface, but anyways, we're talking about the preface of the book. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that now, which, yeah, okay, you'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and read a little bit, maybe just skim through it a little bit. So it says the free Negro class in Maryland sprang up in connection with the institution of slavery. Again, what other forms of institution are we under? You know what? You forgot. You know I forgot to put my favorite thing up. Oh, I'm spelling that all wrong. Okay. 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 So institution, 1400s. Are we in the fourth day in Genesis? Action of establishing or funding or founding a system of government. Is that not so? Listen to this. This is the firmament, honey. This is the firmament of the caste system. Oh, here's another thing we forgot to put up. That's my favorite. Okay. This is the form of slavery that was set up long ago by the God of creation. Okay. One of these gods of creation. Okay. We'll just keep it here. Okay. Uh, uh, this is basically, like I'm saying, the gods that are hovering over. Here are the priests and the academics. This is the temple. This is probably why your third eye is trapped in that tip of the pyramid. I sometimes call it the cornerstone, but I just say that. I don't know for sure. Um, that represents, they say it represents something else, but sometimes it reminds me of the eye being trapped in here. Okay. This is what's blocking you from being able to see in this matrix. Um, So the Brahmin, which would be the priests, the academics, and anything else in that form that would have come in, because this is their temple. This is their temple of God. This is their heaven. Okay. Okay. So the warriors, meaning your special forces or your military forces or your police or whatnot, your president. Okay. And your governors, possibly back then. Okay. Because we didn't have a president. The military was here hundreds and hundreds of years prior to there ever being a president. So whose military was it? Who, I know that many people were sent here, but again, what is this that's hovering over that you have not see? And see, this is why I call it a God firmament. Okay. So the merchants, the landowners, again, these are also have to do with your entertainment industries, any type of industrial, commercial, commerce, any type of, oh, it's another one that I want to use with the M. Merchant, well, merchant is there, but, the people that we complain about each other about race, but these are the people that are fattening up the pockets of this whole thing that neither one of us get to play a part in, really. So again, we want to stop supporting this and stop supporting that and not support each other, but at the same time, these are the people that you will continue to purchase Nike from and purchase different brands and things like this to keep their things well tuned. You'll keep going to concerts and enjoying their entertainment, which is blocking your third eye and which is blocking your vision basically at the same time. Even your churches would be under the 501 3C or C3, whatever, however it goes. And then you have your commoners, your peasants, and your servants, which are those who are serving in a certain form of servitude that still connects them to be a living creature amongst this here pyramid scheme. Okay, they are the living. So this is a one up, or this is the enmity between their seed and her seed, meaning the Aboriginal people, the land. Okay, the Mother Earth. Okay, the ones who a lot of these people came through. Okay, of being a sub race or a offspring of the original people. Okay, so again, like I tell you now, I feel ancient Egypt, it has something to do with America. They are telling us that modern day Egypt is something. I feel like the whole thing with Israel and stuff, either it was here or it has something to do with here too, but they want you to only turn your eyes overseas. They never can find anything over there, but they're finding stuff here all the time, transporting it back overseas in order to put it in their British and museums and museums all over that portion of the world. Okay. So again, excuse me. I think I'm just going really fast today. So anyway, these people, meaning they either are five descendants of $5 Indians or other people that had made came here to claim their stake here, immigrants, aliens, or whatnot. Okay, now does that mean that we shouldn't try to all connect with each other in order to start pointing the finger up here? That is for you to choose. Okay, I don't discriminate. If you're here talking about truth and you want information, then we can connect. I'm going to share your things just as well as I'll share people that look like me, because we have to remember all skin folk and kinfolk. So some of these people that came over here as invaders and things too were people that look like you but were not you. The same people that they use today in order to urge you or make you think that someone has your back or your side up there in the heavens, and they do not. Okay, so again, they have taken oaths, and they could be risking their lives to do otherwise. Okay, and this is why all of them take all of their profits over to Africa and build. They do not come here and build in your neighborhoods unless it's a fucking basketball court, which is also included in the pipeline to from the school system to prison or to another form of slavery of working for someone else instead of teaching our children about economics and excuse me, and entrepreneurship, and instead of putting that money that you would be putting forward to college, using some of these children who are brilliant in order to start their own thing and start their own business and empower them in that light. Back in my day, it was about don't get pregnant, okay, and don't and you need to go to college. No one was talking about credit. No one was talking about anything else that we should have known. Okay, again, I might be speaking a little fast and going fast today, but these are things that we need to know before we even go further into this whole thing. Okay, these people represent the Aboriginal people, or the people that were usually a darker view people with all different types of textures and different skin tones that were in a place in the earliest in the lands prior to anyone being there or bringing their firmament or bringing their structure and placing it on top of you. And this is why we say that everything was built on the back of these people. They are in China, they are in India, they are in Africa, they are all over in the Philippines. They are all over the place, and usually they are darker view people, and they are in slums. Okay, because all of this is built on top of them, and you're never supposed to get a piece of this pie. So let's continue. An institution. Okay, action of okay, let me slow down. Action of establishing or funding a system of government, a religious order. And this is what a minister is. He is one that comes and brings this religious dogma and interplants it, or place it in your mind or in your pineal gland. And this is why I always tell you that it is about your mind. It is about taking that back and going within, that they didn't have to change much when it came to the Bible or anything else. They only had to alter a couple of things like dates and times, names, and then they had to alter your mindset. That is what they tapped into first. This is why they sent these people first. After the voyagers came the priests and these different type of people that started to put things in the minds of the people. Okay. So they have taken what was within you and what they learned from you and taken it and placed it outside of you. And this is what you're trying to grasp when you're looking for a Jesus Christ, when the Christos is already within you. And I'm sorry to say that when I read the text, this is what I feel like your Jesus is trying to tell you all along. But again, they have the church system there to reiterate what they think. And this is why no man will deceive me. If it's anyone that's going to be deceiving me at the end of the day, it will be myself. And that's just it. So again, from Old French, institution, foundation, thing established. Again, 12th century. Are we in the second day? Because and I say that when I say this for anyone new, because if you go back, if you read some of these, even just the etymology. I'm sorry, sorry. Even if you read the etymology of these terms and look at the dates and go back into his story and go back into the biblical text, I think Genesis 1, when you go into those days, you will start to see that some of this stuff is manifesting in those days. That's why I asked you guys, are we in this day? Because I don't even have to say anything further to you, but read this to you, have you read it to yourself, and then use this terminology when you go back into the biblical text, and it's going to manifest for you. Okay. And this is why it should be something that everybody should be able to do. What is the blockage? We have given ourselves over to someone else, other gods, okay? A disposition, arrangement, instruction, education. And we still go to these institutes or institutions today. Um, Noun of state from, okay, whatever, we get the just. Meaning, established law or practice of religion. And this would, if you look at what a minister is, it will tell you what they were to do. And they were to bring this rhetoric to Aboriginal or indigenous populations who does not have it already. So again, the whole thing, even religion, is a part of your of their creation, which is what they're talking about in Genesis, them mingling with the people. It's not talking about plants and animals in one. I'm sorry to tell you that. So it's talking about them and their religions being bonded with the people, original peoples or Aboriginal peoples of places. And again, the fact that they were talking about replenish the earth means that there was earth, meaning people, just like your concordance says that that word can be interchangeable for people or oldest people or original primitive stock or race. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, that their genesis and their creation story is the creation. This is something that was created. What was there already there was original. It was natural to from the it was the soil. Okay. And then they came in and planted their seed and seeded, is exactly what they call it with the C, the nations. And then the floods came in, which overtook the nations. That we're not talking about no water. If we're talking about waters, again, take this into consideration when you're reading the text. See if it makes any sense to you then. The waters would be, just like he said, he called the dry lands earth, and he called the waters wait, I don't know if he said heavens. I can't remember right now because I'm just really going really fast right now. But you can go back in Genesis 1 and it'll say what the exact thing is. I don't want to mislead anyone. Okay. Um let's see. Meaning established law or practice, okay, established organization, promotion of some charity is from 1707. Anything that has been around for a long time, 1837. Okay. So we kind of see gift, power, endowment, mid 15th century, action of endowing or endowment, meaning property which an institution or person, and this is why we talk about the United States as a corporation. Okay, they're a foreign nation for reign. Remember, God didn't he put them here to reign. You can look at it as raindrops. I'm looking at it as something else. Okay, it's from 1590. That of gift, power, advantage is from early 17th century. So you know what? Just because we're gonna just do this real quick. Um, Bible. Okay, wait. What do I want to do? Fifth day. Fifth day. Mm, okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go back. So property in which institution, person endowed, that gift, power, advantage, action of endowing. Okay. Oh, what am I thinking? When he put them above, let them fly above. Uh, let's see. Be fruitful and let the birds multiply on the earth. And there was evening and morning on the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures of their kind, of their kind. Okay, living creatures. These are people that are alive by law. They have killed you off. You are the one that died on the cross, okay? Or on the tree, okay? Several times over and over, because they didn't tell you that all the people that they were lynching mostly back then, what you see in those pictures, were landowners and people that were had riches that they would not want to give over to the system, and so they were lynched and it was taken. Okay, this is what they don't tell you, that like they were just going plucking people off the street to lynch them. No, these were people that had some kind of standing. Okay, livestock and crawlers, land crawlers. Okay, and the beast according to their kind, and it was so. But I want to see fly above. I think it was the fowl. And let them team and let the birds. Okay, so we're close to. Wait, were we close to that? 1 and 20. Okay, yeah, we were. So if we would go up, let's go to 20. Okay. Okay, and God said, let the waters teem with the living creatures. So let those foreigners, those that were coming over through the waters, teem with the living creatures that had established, that are a part of this here thing here, this here pyramid scheme. Okay, and let them fly above the earth in the open expanse of the sky. Okay, the sky is just a elevated status. It's an elevated place when you look it up. Okay, it can also mean in the sky, but again, it was meaning of an elevated status. These are the so-called black people or indigenous aboriginal people of the lands. This is the enmity, and they're above. So let them fly above. This is their offspring. Okay, so just like in the 1828 dictionary, and it says that what does it say? That the term American, okay, was used for the Aboriginal or indigenous black people of a land, of this land. But the status has now been turned over to the children of the Aboriginal people that were found here by the Europeans. But the term now applies to the children or the offspring of the European. Okay, so they have taken your terms, which makes them living and then makes you dead. Okay. And again, when you look at that Illuminati, George Washington, we're going to go into it because I'm just going to do one on that only, and we'll kind of go from there with that. Okay. So again, that's endowing them gifts, advantage, and an advantage over someone else. Okay. The someone else just happens to be the original people. Okay. Okay. Wait, inmate. 1581, allowed to live in a house rented by another. Again, this is not their land. I know this ain't got nothing to do with it, but it just reminds me that this is not their land still. They are a foreign nation sent here for reign, to reign on your parade, okay? Okay, and so you are a property of them. This is why they can shoot you down in the middle of the street, whatever you've done or not done, and no one will be held accountable for this. Okay, which goes back with the Casualty Killing Act in my eyes. That has not been turned over. It's still a thing. Okay, it's just not a thing that is talked about, but I feel like it's still being held. Okay. Okay, so let's just keep on going. I'm sorry for going off on a tangent, but let's just try to go ahead and get into this. The free Negro class in Maryland sprang up in connection with the institution of slavery. Okay, so slavery was an institution. Okay, and then we'll see what we all learned about institution here today. Let's regroup. This was a thing to hold you down and keep you down until they had a footing on the earth. And now they have it, okay? And you've helped give it to them, but it's time to wake up, okay? So, of slavery, okay? And the caste system is a form of slavery. It's the earliest form. So what makes you think we're not under that? They just misled you into thinking it was something else. Of slavery in the provincial era. The following were outstanding characteristics. The social status was sustainably fixed. Okay, and then here we go about being fixed. And I feel like, okay, we might be able to find that in the Bible as well, but the formal legal status was also well defined, although in practice, liberties of varying extent were enjoyed by many slaves. Okay, just like now, today. Okay. And the economic welfare ranged from the meanest to as good as that of the average white person. In some respect, again, are these just terms, okay? Or are we really talking about a certain people? In some respects, therefore, the slave Negro's position approximated that of the white citizen, and it was probably improved, at least on the economic side, after the provincial era. had passed. The problem here, however, is the rise in condition of the free Negro. Is it? Formerly, the first important step was the acquisition by the Negro of the property right in his own person and service. Okay? The step was the acquisition by the Negro of the property right in his own person and service. Let's see about this acquisition. Oh, I took it out. Let's see if I can spell that one. Let's go back. Oh, goodness, really? Let's look at it one more time. Sorry. This show y'all how I struggle sometimes. Okay. And for some reason, I cannot look at the screen at the same time as I'm typing. Okay. So, act of obtaining. Okay. Purchase, acquirement. Let's see. Getting in addition, accumulate. Here, perhaps empathetic. Okay. To seek, to obtain, meaning thing obtained is from the 15th century. Again, language involved. Okay, so reacquisition. Okay, so is this re-obtaining? Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. Okay, 15th century reacquisition. Also reacquisition. Okay, to get something again. Okay, 1796. Defeat of an adversary. Again, we're always talking about these adversaries here and there in the biblical text. Subjugation, conquest, subjugation or conquering by an armed force. This makes us, and again, this makes us, once you know that you're from here and not from Africa, see, it's not about the traditions, the people, the look, the hair, or if you're connected to these people at all, because a lot of those people I feel are actually Americans that were taken out earlier in time, okay, and brought over there. I don't think that was the mother, okay. Again, we do have to keep Pangea in mind, but again, like I said, it would have been the whole thing. And I think a lot of times when we're talking about ancient Egypt, I told you guys we're talking about America and we're talking about West Africa a lot of times. I feel like we're talking about a portion of South America or America that may have been connected to Africa or to that in a sense at some point in time. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay. Conquest. To search for, procure. Okay. Okay, so we don't keep getting off track. See, and this is why we can't get through one thing. Okay, let's see. Improved. Okay, formerly the first important step was the acquisition by the Negro of the property right in his own person and service. So to go back after his own property is what I would think that this is talking about. Okay. In early practice, the act of manumission had been designed to effectuate this so completely that no legal obstacle should remain to hinder progress of self. And now let's look at this, because I've run into this term a lot lately too, and I would like to know actually what it means in depth. Mission. Liberation from slavery, okay, bondage or resistance. In 1400, manumission. Christ's, plural, okay, or they could be saying Christ like it belonged to it would say like the redemption of or something, I would think, but yeah, we could be using it in that sense, but again, I don't know, because something I was reading in I think I already went over it, but Christ's redemption of mankind. Okay, so the his redemption of mankind. Early 15th century, freedom from feudal servitude. Okay, So slavery, freedom from feudal servitude, um, freedom, emancipation, freeing a slave, to set free, release from control, power of mass, power of a master. So who was being released from slavery at that time? Because we know that there was also white slaves here too. They're very sketchy on as to how many, when, where, and when, how it happened. But again, could this be just the freedom of these people that are running rampant here now from their father, okay, in order to rule how they would like here, or go into cahoots with, you know what I'm saying? So again, what, so they be free, so then they enslave the rest of us, okay, and then work things out so that we would be the ones that would be fueling, fueling the beast, okay, literally hand, let go, release. Specifically in reference to Negro slavery in British colonies. Okay, again, 1660. Okay, the ceremony of manumisso by Vindicta was as follows: the master brought his slave before the magistrates, and stated the grounds, cost. I was about to say caucus, causa. Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, of intended manumission. The lictor or magistrate laid a rod. Now listen to this. What we talking about? This rod, this staff, or this rod on the head of the slave. Look at this. Occupied with certain formal words in which he declared that he was a free man, ex jure quint. These are some words that I need to get into here. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. He turned him round. This sounds like some ritualistic act, and I could swear it's reminding me of something of the Bible. And let him go. Whence the general name of the act, manumission. Okay, so again, man, uh, man, uh, Proto-Indo-European root meaning hand. Okay, command. Mandas. I'm thinking mandate, manifest, manipulate. Okay. It is a hypothetical source of evidence for the existence of, is provided by Hittite Manah. I'm thinking Manasseh, but Manaha, to distribute, entrust, hand, strengthen, force, handwriting, to order, to commit, literally to give into one's hand. Again, okay, so yeah, these are a couple of things I would like to get into here, but we're doing something else right now, so I just have to keep note of that. Okay, form the important steps. Okay, property of rights. In early practice, the act of, okay, have been designed. Okay. If it failed to attain that object, the default was probably due to peculiarities of the Negro himself, i.e., that his racial distinctness from white continued to be marked as that of a slave, and that his impotency from organizing to protect and promote his own interests left him both subordinate and very dependent. Thus, although manumission did not mark him off from the slave, okay, since the process is created, okay, in the population, a formally separate class. These are classes, okay, and they put you in classes when you go to school. It's just funny. It seemed thereby to build up a separate and unwelcome institution. This institutional phase was called by some free Negroism. Another aspect of a situation laid in that while Negro slavery had been a disappointment, free Negroism, as supplanting it, was also not deemed a success. Something, it was thought, had to be done about it. The thing attempted was to create and execute a legal status to correspond to the condition of the class itself. The matter was thrown into state politics I don't know why I'm trying to read that little and I can make it bigger. Okay. Okay. Was thrown into state politics, and the status became as ill defined as was the free Negro position, hybrid and anomalous. Okay. Let's look into that one. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Anomalous. Okay. Deviating from a general rule, 1640. Amelos, uneven, irregular. Even from homos, same. One as one together. A normal is a related term. A corruption of anomalous. Uneven, irregular. Ab, away. See? Ab, original. Sent away. What is this? Cast away. Outcast. You've been cast out. So is this with their a sneak diss, that we're talking about here, that they may want to give you something that you thought you had but you didn't? Okay. So it's just mm, 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 mm. Okay. Legal stat. Okay. The problem was okay. Free Negroes pages. Okay, where were we at? As supplanted, it was also not deemed a success. So it was supplanted. Something it was thought had been done, the thing attempted, okay, legal correspondent, class itself. The matter was thrown into state politics and became ill defined, as was the hybrid of the anomalous. The problem has received less exposition than the numbers of the free Negroes seem to merit. The page that follow endeavor to help fill the void. The subject of the free Negro has not been left untouched. Sidelighted in the earlier period are to be found in Maccormack's White Servitude in Virginia. In Maryland. I'm just saying stuff, huh? White servitude in Maryland. Now, sidelights on the earlier period are to be found in Maccormack's White Servitude in Maryland, and some information occurs in certain of the general and special histories. But in brackets, the Negro in Maryland is found a predecessor in which the space devoted to manumission and the free Negro nearly equals that given to the slaves. Damn. Dr. Brackett's faithful chronicle of the formal history has made his work an inevitable. Now, you might want to know who this guy is now, okay, and what his work was that we're talking about. Inevitable help in its field. Although the present study is narrow in scope, and although it is chapters 2, 3, and 10, especially in retraces many of the steps taken in the preceding work, the chapters 2 and 10 at least, it draws up lucrative materials from which the earlier work derived nothing mentionable. It has seemed met to interweave what these sources yield with the formal history, and thus to forgive further account of the following matters: the reason for the manumission of some Negroes, and the failure to manumit others, how manumission was understood and executed by the owners of Negroes, the territorial distribution of the free Negroes and slaves, the genesis, develop retardation and fiasco of the colonization movement and the clash of economic interests over the Negro question in state politics. Furthermore, although bracket has been the law and some of the other uh, facts about apprenticeship and vagrancy, and although the materials contained in Bishop Payne's history of the African Methodist Episcopal church were indispensable to the character of the church. Chapters 6 and 11, I don't know, inclusive attempt to now why they just don't use numbers, I don't know. I guess it's to throw you off because they probably write their stuff in Roman numerals. Okay, and so it'll throw you off a little bit when it comes to you trying to obtain this information. Okay, so inclusive attempt to cover ground that had not been previously cultivated intensively. This is the dry land in your Bible, more than likely. Okay, because he said the dry land he called earth. Okay. The work whose results are present or presented was first undertaken at the instance of Carnegie Institute of Washington, D.C., a subdivision from that source made possible the assembling of most of the materials used. The writer wishes further to make acknowledgement to Mr. Alfred H. Stone, Ballot, whoever this person is, and Steiner for assistance in the council, to the library staff of the Peabody Institute in Maryland and New York Historical Societies, and to custodians of state and country archives and of certain church records and business accounts books for permission to use materials and for assistance during the research. And finally, to his wife, who aided for months in exploring many volumes of newspapers and public records. Okay, so there we go. There's the preface. There's a couple of things that we looked in when we were reading it. The thing that is most mind-blowing to me is the fact that they're talking about Genesis. Okay, I don't even know where we left that at. But again, so again, if you guys would like to read that, go ahead. I want to thank you guys for stopping by and giving me your time. Again, each one teach one. We need to share information. We shouldn't be restricting each other and putting not tags, but because you would like to lead people back to your information. But I'm just saying, putting tabs or acting like this information is ours to withhold or restrain from others. I mean, if you know something, let someone know, because other people are on different levels and they may be able to obtain this information and use it. Okay, so again, I'm trying my best. And again, I'm not one of those people that need any type of credit. The only thing I would like is for more people to be aware and be able to hear this. So again, if you would like to share this clip somewhere, you are free to do so. Thanks a lot for watching, and you guys take care. Bye.